Hello, my name's Jodie Davidson. I'm a visual artist and I love working with plants and materials that I can find in my garden. Today I'm going to show you how to do some weaving. We are going to do a stick weaving using a stick like this, and we're also going to do a circular type of weaving using a loom like this. What I need you to do is go into your garden or go for a walk today and see if you can find a Y-shaped stick, or I've got these from my garden, some of the green saplings that I've just pruned off one of my trees. Now you can use peppermint trees, willow trees, anything like that, as long as it bends. You want something that's going to be able to bend in a circle. So go and find those things and then come back and I'll show you what we can do. So the first thing I'm going to show you, you should have found your Y-shaped stick. You'll need some string. You can also use wool. You could probably use fabric, strips of fabric if you needed to, but string or wool will work best. What you need to do is at the base of the Y, we're going to tie a knot. Now I find it easier just to wrap it around a couple of times and then tie a little double knot there, and that's going to stop it from moving. Now sometimes it's easy to have someone hold this while you're doing it, or you can put it between your knees. What we're going to do is take it up one of our little legs and wrap it around a couple of times. That's going to stop it from sliding up and down the stick. We then take it across to the other side, wrap it around a couple of times. And you can see, you go up to the next one, wrap a couple of times, over to the next, and I'm holding it with my finger as I wrap. And you just keep going until you can get to the top of your stick. So I've now got to the top of the stick. I'm going to wrap that round lots of times at the top and just tie a little knot. And that is your first loom, which we will then weave with some different materials. Okay. So this is a pruning that I've taken from a fiddlewood tree in my garden. What you'll need to do, you can see it's nice and green, nice and bendy. What you need to do is just take all your leaves off. So you want to just have the stick. Quicker way is just to slide your hands down and pull your leaves off. Now, you will also need some string. And what we're going to do is turn this, break that top bit off, into a circular. So what you want to do is you need to sort of break up the fibres inside a little bit. So we're just bending it and we're going to turn it into a circle. So I'm wrapping it around on itself. Now what I'm going to do, just very carefully, I just want to wrap that bit there because that's quite thick. I don't want to break it. Loosening it up a bit. Holding your string, the end of your string, and leaving a tail, we're going to take that around and just keep wrapping it around until we've got a nice long length tied up. This also acts to secure your loom and gives it a little bit more support along the edge. So once you've got lots of string around where your two pieces are joining, you're going to tie a knot just to hold it together. And then we're going to start creating our loom. Now you can also use these to make yourself a dream catcher, or you can weave like I'll show you. So to make your loom, what you're going to do is go across and wrap it around like we did with our other stick. Just wrap it around a couple of times. That's going to stop it from sliding. And then you're going to go across again. So it's a bit like a clock. And you're going to all the numbers on the clock. You're trying to cross at the middle because all our middle pieces will end up tying together. A clock has an even number of an even amount of numbers because we have 12. To do a loom, we want an odd, for weaving, we want an odd amount of strings going across. So I'll show you how we can do that. So you can see it looks a bit like a star. And then I'm going to take this back to the middle and tie it, and you'll watch them all come together. You see all of those coming in together, a bit like a spider web. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 9 little sections. So then once you've come through to the middle and you've done that bit, you can use this piece of string. And what you're going to do is go under and over. So I'm going to go over that one and then under this one. Over that one and under the next one. And you keep doing that over and under until you get to the end of your string. When you get to the end of your string, come back and I'll show you what we can add on. So you should have finished your under and over and got to somewhere like I am, where you've still got a bit of a tail. Now you can continue with string, or you can add some wool and continue doing that circular pattern, or this is a project we did earlier. I'm actually going to strip some of this up. You can use any fabric, and we're going to do it in just some really fine strips. Again, I love the tearing. You just need to cut a tiny little section, and that tearing sound. What you're going to do is tie that in a knot. So you're tying your fabric to your string, and then you're going to continue your over and under through your loom with your fabric. You can hear the birds going in my garden. That's what's so lovely about doing this and getting outside into your yard. We just had a little bit of a rain shower come through, which is great for the vegetables. And you can see now I've got to the fabric, so now I'm just bringing my fabric around under and over. And the colours on this fabric came from an earlier workshop where we used some plant materials to create these colours. So you might want to go back and have a look at that if you haven't seen it yet, and create some of your own fabric to work with this. So you can continue with that for as long as you like. I'll also show you on our stick weaving. So this is our circular loom. You can see it keeps going round. On our stick one, you can do the same thing. So you can tie a little knot at the top where you start, tie it around the stick itself rather than just onto the string, because it will slide. And again, under, over, under, over. And then you go backwards. When you go backwards, it'll be doing the opposite. So where the previous one went underneath this one, this time it goes over. And you just keep adding length on and continue that under and over pattern, and you have your own stick weaving. This is another one that I did. If you really like this process, you could even get some, you can see here I've got some little nuts that I found on my forage, and I've used some jute as well as my cotton string. So I have put a little hole in here. I've plaited some other fabrics together, so you can plait fabrics and use that as one strand of fabric. And I've continued with my under over all the way around. I like to leave the section on the outside so you can actually see the strings on the loom. You might like to do that too. We would love to see your designs and your work that you do. So take a photo and hashtag it, so that you can share it with everyone else, and we might get a whole pile of looms made with lots of different fabrics and nuts and seed pods. You could even try weaving in some bark or some leaves, but be as imaginative as you can, and make sure you collect that big bounty of things when you're doing your walk or when you're out in the garden in nature.